I'm Nick Miles at Dick Hanna Honda in Vancouver, home of the best deal guarantee. And today we're going to take a ride in this. This is the Honda Pilot for 2021. Honda Pilot has been around since 2002. That's 19 years of this vehicle being one of the best three rows, some of the best off-roading, and some of the best quality there is out there in a family SUV. And wait till you see the technology, the amenities, and what this vehicle can do for your family road trips, for your family daily trips, and for your family adventures. Let's take a ride. Once you get on the road with the brand new Pilot, you're going to notice a bunch of really interesting new things. First of all, this is really easy to drive. It's light. The steering is light and nimble, and you can place the Pilot on the road where you want to go. Plus, remember, this is a 7-seater SUV. That means loaded with passengers, it's still not difficult to drive. And because of the capability of this vehicle, that doesn't just mean on-road, but it also means off-road. And Honda have done something clever. A lot of times, car companies are moving to 4-cylinder engines with their SUVs. Well, not Honda. This has a V6 and 280 horsepower. So why does horsepower matter when you're talking about something like a family three-row SUV? Well, it really does. Not because you want to do really super fast 0 to 60 mile an hour times, because that would be ridiculous in something so big and so heavy as something like the Pilot, but because when you have it fully loaded with all your adventure gear and a bunch of kids, you want to be able to overtake somebody in traffic by just putting your foot down without any difficulty at all. Plus, you're going up some camping roads or doing a little bit of mild off-roading on the campsite. You want to be able to put your foot down and look, it reacts perfectly, allowing you to go wherever you need without any struggle. That 280 horsepower is perfect for this size of vehicle. From a driver's perspective, everything in this vehicle is well laid out. I'm looking at a screen which is easy for me to reach. There's also gauges which are clear, concise, and there's no confusion. A lot of times you get into competitors of this vehicle and there is so much information that you're blinded. The amount of time that you take your eyes off the road and look at gauges is really important for safety. And this vehicle has everything clear. Right now, I'm displaying my distance, I'm displaying my average fuel economy and my range of fuel in the vehicle. Plus, I have heat and cool gauge on the left, fuel gauge on the right, my drive and my speed. Plus, infotainment screen. It has everything available. Home button, back button, light button. There is a real volume knob here. Everything is clean and concise and easy to touch, easy to get to. When it comes to your HVAC controls, everything again is the same. You can control the front temperatures. It has, of course, dual climate controls up front and then a tri-climate control with a third in the back. So you can turn the back on and off or control it if the kids are too little. And of course, this vehicle is completely updated. It has 2 USB ports up front here, a wireless charging, as well as all of the amenities that you'd like. Easy to use cup holders, push button transmission, and a large cubby in the middle with a roller top, which means that if you need to store things like purses, extra water bottles, you can do that. There's still plenty of room in the door, pockets in the side for keys, etc. There is so much storage space here, there should be no trouble in carrying your everyday needs. One other thing that Honda do really well is visuals. I have a huge windscreen I can clearly see. Very slim A-pillars with speakers embedded in them. At the same time, big windows on the side with a lower belt line, so the daylight opening space is really big. I have clear views both sides, and the mirror. I can see clearly out the back of the vehicle. At the same time, I have a good view of the rear occupants in the vehicle too. So I'm making sure that my cargo, whether that be passengers or physical cargo, is absolutely safe, and I can see all the surroundings of the vehicle, and that's super important to me. When a lot of manufacturers have made their vehicles overly rounded and some made them too blocky and square, Honda is one of the only manufacturers that have got their vehicle just right. Rugged enough to do the off-road stuff and to look impressive on the road, and modern enough too. In fact, when I look at this vehicle, I think it looks a little bit like a superhero's helmet, especially with these nice headlights here. Daytime running lights with a nice C-curve around the headlights, just enough chrome on the grille to make it blingy enough, but not too much to make it gaudy. There is a nice black plastic here, openings for air intake just below the chrome, and when you move around to the side of the vehicle, you can see what's reflected in the hood, a nice shape, a little of a power bulge in the middle and on the sides of the hood. It's still reflected down the sides of the fender here. And here's a trick of design that I think Honda have used very cleverly. Using black cladding around the top of the wheels actually allows the vehicle to look like it's floating slightly and give it a more rugged look. 20-inch wheels on this touring version of the vehicle make it look the piece. I always say the shoes really make the vehicle. Then getting to this side mirror, embedded signals in the mirror, heated mirrors as well, nice door shape, a piece of chrome which runs all the way along the bottom of the vehicle. Very nice roof line to a swoop at the back, another C shape here which reflects those daytime running lights. A little bit of an aero spoiler on the opening tailgate here, and nice lights folding into the back which reflect a lot of the front of the vehicle, spelt out quite nicely. Pilot on the back, and then the model, and this of course being an all-wheel drive, and Honda absolutely nail it when it comes to all-wheel drive systems, and of course their off-roading systems too. And then you look at the very bottom of the vehicle, we stand there, little bits of chrome to accent the reflectors, a little piece of matte colored silver at the bottom which indicates that this vehicle is very capable off-road as well. So opening back of the tailgate, you can easily use the kick, the key fob, or of course the button, which I'm a big fan of. Once the trunk is open, there's just over 16 cubic feet of space behind the third row. If you put the third and the second row flat, there's somewhere between 82 and 84 cubic feet of space, depending on how you configure your vehicle. So don't forget, 3 people can sit in that third row, and there's plenty of room for adults to sit back there. In the second row, 2 captain's chairs in this touring configuration. I love the idea of captain's chairs because it allows kids to go in between them and get into the third row. But if that doesn't work for you, there is also 2 buttons on each of those captain's chairs, one at the side of the bottom or one behind. Push those buttons and the seat flips forward and folds forward as well, allowing people to climb into the back. Even a 5-year-old can do it. It allows you to safely get into that third row. Now let's talk about amenities in the back. On each side of the third row there is 3 cup holders, not sure how many drinks you actually need to carry. Then in the second row, 2 cup holders in the door or the middle seat. You have 2 USB ports, 2 headphone ports and an HDMI port, as well as heated seats in that second row too. So in the winter months when you need that all-wheel drive to traverse snow, you also get heated seats for everybody in that second row. Nice amenities in the back, nice infotainment system in the back as well. Honda of course makes some of the best infotainment systems in the second and third rows that there is, with headphones and of course a DVD Blu-ray player that can be operated up front. So good amenities, good seating, good comfort, plenty of cup holders, less complaining kids means Honda Pilot might be the way to go, school runs and the weekend or week vacation adventures. The simple thing is, if this vehicle, the 2021 Honda Pilot, isn't on your test drive list for a 3-row family SUV, you're really missing out. It's solid in every single category and it competes. And for the money you're going to spend, it should be right up there in the top 3. So come down to Dick Hannah Honda in Vancouver and they'll be happy to let you test drive the new Honda Pilot.